Okay, this is my magazine. It's called Musica, which it's quite unique, I thought. I went for a name in a different language to make it different and stand out. It means music in English, which pretty much says what the magazine is about. My target audience is mainly girls, from teens to young adults. I've done this because what I've included in my magazine is I've done a bit of fashion in it as well, because it's one of the newest models / songwriters called Eva Brooklyn. I've also included an interview with one of the newest bands to bring them in. The genre of music I've chosen is pop and mainstream, mainly because that's the type of music I'm interested in. So I'd know what to write about, and it also gives me a wide range variety to write about because it includes loads of different artists. The layout, I've used mainly purples and greys to tie in with her eyes and what she's wearing. I don't think you can see it that much, but I chose not to use black because I didn't want it too fierce and bold. I want it to be quite subtle. Purple is quite, I don't know, it symbolises royalty, so it could be quite a posh magazine. It's also quite mysterious and intriguing colour. I've made my magazine £3.50 because averagely that's what magazines cost nowadays, unless they're like cheap ones, but I'd want to make my magazine quite big and glossy paper stuff. A contents page. I kept my contents page quite simple. I looked at other magazines to get inspiration, and not a lot of them set their contents pages out like this, but I was quite intrigued by it because it is very simple. The images I got from my front cover and my contents page were inspired by one of the fashion photographers, Rankin, who does most of the photography for Vogue and stuff. And the layout, yeah, it's just pretty simple, kept with the same colours as the front page. Just give a bit of description about what goes on in the magazine, what it includes. Most of it also linking in with what girls would be interested in. And yeah, the fonts are quite simple and keep it in the contents page as well.
Will there be anything between the contents and the features headline there?
No.
Because there would be other things other than features. Features are sort of non-time specific, but you might have immediate things coming up, gigs to go to, where you can see her, you know, or things that are sort of more topical. You could have these any time of the year, couldn't you?
Yeah, something about adding something.
Yeah. Did you take a photograph?
Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm.
I did an advertisement as well. My advertisement, because it's a girls' magazine, is perfume for girls. The colours, very girly, pink. It's also using the model from the front page, who's meant to be one of the new people on the scenes, so it would intrigue people to buy it. Like if she's got it, I'd want it. The text also is very elegant, so I thought it would fit in. It's quite posh as well. Make perfumes quite posh. And then my double page spread, I did an interview with the band that was on the front cover. Basically, I also looked at music magazines and saw how they set out their interviews. Most of them had the questions in bold or underlined, so I've done both of that, and then the answers underneath. Basically, the answers that I wrote were quoting what each one of them said, so it had their name and then what they said by it. The pictures are of the band. I tried to link the background colours of the paper and background colours of the pictures, so they wouldn't look too bold on the page, they sort of like all flowed. And the main image is also of them, but it's got more colour on it, so it draws your eye. And the text, I've also used that text because it looks like it's scribbled, and then underneath it's sort of like sketched right in, and as the band's called We Fight Dinosaurs, it's like the sort of, when they carved it in, kind of like in dinosaur times. Yeah. That's it.
That's lovely. What do you think? It's amazing, isn't it? I think my comment would be your margins are too wide.
Okay.
Do you know what font size you used on the article?
No, not without looking. I think it's about 9.
Probably, if that's the case, it's probably a bit too small, in which case if you narrow your margins, you can still have the same amount of text there,
Yeah.
but it's slightly bigger to read. No, any questions anyway? So target audience? Girls, yes.
Girls.
What age?
I'd say middle teens, like 15 to about 21. So it covers, because it's going to be quite informal text as well, like a friend is talking to you, because I didn't want to make it too formal, because it's not as fun to read.
No, that's true. But you've made a very, as you said, subtle and stylish magazine. Do be careful not to make it too chummy. It will be a bit contradictory. Any questions? Very good, Jess. Hey, well done.